Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Night Moves. So today we're going to focus mainly on the quads and the hamstrings, a little bit of inner thigh, a little bit of IT band. This will roughly be about, 10 minutes or so. Just some things to help you loosen up some muscles that tend to hold a lot of tension and can take a little bit of time to get to stretch out. So you'll need, again, a strap or a towel or something that works to kind of make your arms longer and make it easier to grab onto things. So we're actually going to start today just kneeling. So whatever works best for you with your knees in terms of being close or far apart, but just allowing your hips to settle onto your heels, letting your shins rest on the mat, tops of your feet on the mat. You're just going to relax for a second. Take a moment to close your eyes so you can just kind of settle in and feel your body. There's not a lot of sensation here, but it is flexion for your knees, it is extension for your ankles. So you might be feeling some stretching in the shins or across the tops of your feet, which is totally normal and kind of what you would be looking for in this position anyway. So as per usual, I just want you to take a second to slow down your breathing, try to lengthen it out and even it out with your inhales and exhales. That breathing is so crucial when it comes to stretching and creating space because it is what allows your nervous system to relax and it allows your body to understand that you're not in fight or flight. You are in a space where you're trying to open up and relax, relieving tension from your body. So just a couple of breaths here. Again, just kind of bringing some length into the front side of the lower limbs. That extension in your shins and your ankles can also create some sensation around the knees. If you have healthy knees, probably not feeling much. And then all we're going to do from here is just begin to bring a little bit of length into the quads and a little bit of length into the hip flexors. So all you're going to do is take your hands and bring them behind you and then try to get your palms flat. Now, for some people that have a tighter low back or very, very tight quads, this is perfectly fine. You don't even really need to go much further than this. So what you can do, if this is a good spot to be, is give your glutes a little squeeze and then relax them back down again. You might get a slight pop in your hips or maybe even your low back. And you can do that again, just kind of squeezing to lift the hips, getting that length, and then relaxing back down. And then those of us that are a little bit more flexible, have a little bit more space, can walk the hands back a little bit further. Can be rough on the wrists with your fingertips pointing toward your body, so if you need to turn them around, just turn them around. And again, once you start to feel that length in the quads and that sensation, give your glutes a little squeeze so you're lifting your hips. There's more space, and then relax your hips back down. And then do that again, and relax back down. Now, if you have any more space to go back, find it here, whether it's walking your hands back, or maybe even bringing your hands in and slowly placing your elbows and your forearms on the ground. Now, if your knees initially lift, just try to point them back down. And for most of us, that's plenty of sensation. So just a few easy breaths here. Try to keep your neck neutral, your chin a little bit more tucked in toward your throat so you're not dropping your head back. And slowly, either lift off your arms or bring your palms back in. And then all we're going to do is walk forward toward child's pose. So very easy child's pose. Bend your elbows, place your forehead on your hands, and just rest for a second here, letting the low back relax and get a little bit of length. And then press yourself up to all fours. So once you're here, I want you to take your right foot and swing it forward so you're in a kneeling lunge. Make sure your foot is slightly ahead of your knee, and then you can let the knee drop out toward the right. So what you're going to feel there is that stretch in the inner thigh and the hamstrings, and that's good, that's what we want. Let the hips melt down and forward a little bit. Couple of breaths. Then what we're going to do is prop ourselves up on the left hand, take the right hand back, bend your knee, and reach for your foot. Now those of you that can't reach your foot easily, this is when you would go ahead and grab your strap or your towel and kind of use it like a lasso, right, over the foot or the ankle so that your arm is long enough to reach. And then you can bend your elbow and pull that heel toward you. Just about 5 breaths. And very gently release your foot, let your strap go if you're using it. Walk your right foot more towards center in between your hands. And now we're going to straighten out that right leg. Take your time. You can slide your left hip all the way down onto your heel as you straighten the right leg out. So you're kind of sitting right on the heel with the left butt bone. And then from there, walk your hands forward until you start to feel that stretch in the hamstring, and just stay right there. So pull your toes back toward your face. Lot of length in the calf and the hammy. Then think about pulling your chest forward toward your foot and drawing your shoulders back. And again, just about 5 breaths here. And bend into your right knee, lift your hips up. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee up. Walk your hands inside your right foot and then start to come toward the center and turn all 10 toes forward now. So you're in this wide-legged forward fold. Turn your big toes in a little bit so you have a little pigeon toe. And then bend your knees so you're soft in the hamstrings a little bit more. And then just let your torso hang heavy. Relax your arms, maybe bend your elbows like ragdoll. Let your head drop, just a couple breaths. And then bring your hands back to the ground and start to walk them over toward your left foot. So you're just kind of turning to the other side now, and place your right knee down. So bring your hands inside your left foot, walk it ahead of your knee. Let your hips start to drop down as your knee splays out toward the left. Feeling that space in the inner thigh once more, in the hip. Then we're going to take the left arm back, bend the right knee, and grab a hold of the foot. So again, maybe use your strap so your arm is longer and you can get it. And then once you have it, if you can, bend your elbow to pull the heel in as your hips continue to drop down and forward. Just about 5 breaths. Keep your jaw relaxed. That space between your eyes nice and soft. And gently release your foot, and then walk your left foot more toward the center in between your hands and start to straighten your left leg as you slide and sit back onto your right heel. So again, butt bone is basically right on the heel. Flex your toes toward your face. Walk your hands forward, pull your chest toward your foot and your shoulders back toward your tail, and just breathe. And then start to bend back into the left knee. Tuck your back toes, lifting your knee up. And then walk your hands around once more so you're in the center and all 10 of your toes point forward. That wide-legged fold. Turn the big toes in, slide the heels out. And this time you're going to fold a little bit more actively. So with your hands on the ground, lead with your chest first. Hinge right out from your hips, and then maybe walk your hands back a little bit toward that space between your feet. Relax your head. Think about tipping the weight a little bit to your toes, but your heels stay down, and you'll feel your hips lift. And then lift your chest up a little bit so you're kind of in a tabletop spinal position. Keep your feet like they are, but start to walk your hands over toward your right foot. Just gonna feel that stretch. And then walk your hands back through center and around toward the left foot. And bring your hands back towards center. Start to bring your feet together and then come back down onto your knees and sit onto your heels. So from here, we're gonna take the left heel out wider than the hip and then try to snuggle the hip down toward the ground. So roll your left calf out of the way, lean into the left side, and then bring your right leg forward so your hips are on the ground. If there's a different way that you need to get into this position, then just go ahead and adjust as you need through that transition. Your knees are still together. Your left ankle is right outside your left hip, and your right toes are gonna flex toward your face. So first, we're gonna fold. And again, you can use your strap to make your arms longer to lasso onto the foot, or if you have the flexibility, you can walk your hands forward and grab onto your foot. From here, again, leading with the chest. Lift it up through your arms, and then bend your elbows and find that sensation where you can still maintain your breath. Release your foot, walk your hands back in, and now kind of like we started, take the hands behind you, just start to walk them back. Maybe you just bend your elbows a little bit to lean back and you feel that left quad and hip flexor open up, or maybe you have the space to come down onto your forearms. Some of you might be able to lay all the way down onto your shoulders. Feel free to do that. That's not a challenge. If your knee lifts up or it just starts to feel like your leg is going to snap off your body, it's not what we're looking for. And slowly press back up. And all you're going to do is take your left foot, extend it forward, move your ankle around a little bit, take the right knee, bend it, and pull your heel back alongside your glute. So roll your calf muscle out of the way so you can get down there. Hands first to the ground, lift your chest, flex your foot, and then slowly walk them forward. Maybe use your strap and grab your foot. Lead with your chest, and then bend your elbows just to that point of sensation where you can keep breathing. And release your foot, bring your hands back, and then walk them behind you. And then maybe just bend your elbows and lean back, or maybe come down onto your forearms. Again, working that right knee down, hips stay grounded. And slowly press back up onto your palms. Take your right foot, extend it forward, move your ankle around a little bit so that fresh blood flows back in. And then go ahead and bend your knees in toward your chest. Take your feet together, your knees wide. Pull your heels in toward you. Hold onto your feet. Lift your chest up and then fold forward. So it's more about the inner thigh portion of your hips here, and you'll probably feel a stretch in your lower back. And release, sit up, pull your knees together. Just gonna swing your knees to one side and come back into your tabletop position. Then here, we'll start with the left foot. Bring it forward. And then take your hands on either side of the foot. Tuck your back toes so the knee lifts and straighten your left leg out. Straighten your right leg out. Maybe pull your left toes up toward your shin. If you have your toes lifted, relax them. Walk your hands inside the foot, turn toward the center, and then all the way around to the right foot. Both legs are straight. Maybe pull the right toes up and off the ground. Lead with your chest and fold. And relax your foot if you lifted the toes. Walk your hands back to center again. All 10 toes, point forward, little pigeon toe. And then those of you that have a little bit more space, take those feet out nice and wide. Lots of inner thigh here. Maybe even bring your forearms to the ground. Relax your head. Just about 5 breaths. And press back up to your hands if you lowered all the way down. Slowly pull your feet in toward one another. And then when you find a place where your hips have released, bring your knees back down to the ground. Sit back, and you're done for now. So short and sweet, just working through a little bit of the legs there. A good one to add on after any squat, deadlift, cleans, things like that. Even split jerks, honestly, or anything that puts you in a lunge or a squat position.